Hello, welcome to another video. So this week is just a quick one. It's just something I thought of in passing as I am in Byron Bay in the final stages of my healing journey, or what I really hope are the final stages. So I just wrote a blog post about 3 kind of spiritual philosophies that inspired my healing journey along the way. And so I thought I'd share them in video. So when you want to heal, it's a very different approach to band-aiding symptoms. These are 2 completely different things. Healing is about like really going deep within the body and finding out where all your problems started. And as you unearth all of that, you kind of have to bring things back into balance again. So yeah, you have to change your diet, you have to change your exercise, your relationship with yourself. You've got to deep dive, you've got to seek support. There's a lot of different aspects to healing. But along the way of my journey, I heard a couple of philosophies which are pretty much saying the exact same thing, but that really highlight the way I have looked at this journey the entire time. I suppose to try and take some of the weight off it, because it's quite a heavy process, digging through stuff. Nobody really likes to do that. Yeah, I've done heaps of courses, read a couple 100 books. I've had a few therapists, a few guides, and this kind of thing along the way. And these are just the 3 things that stood out. So the first one was from my homeopath. So she was located in Canberra, and she was the first person I saw after I sort of gave up on the traditional route, through doctors and psychiatrists and stuff to get help. I went this way, I kind of threw my hands up in the air and went in the total opposite direction, no idea what I was doing, and ended up at a homeopath. So the medicine she sort of worked with aside was wild, but one thing she explained to me, like after my first consult, so as I had just kind of offloaded, you spend about 2 hours talking about your health and your history. So the thing with natural therapies is you really get like an hour or 2 hours per person, because they understand the importance of digging into your story and getting a bit of a timeline and getting a full dimensional picture of who you are and what you've been through and where you're at. So she explained to me my situation like this. So she said, basically we are all, if you imagine a diamond in a glass and the glass is filled with like black ink or black liquid. And she said with every single thing that you uncover and every single thing that you clear, that liquid starts to become slightly lighter, so the density kind of loosens up, or however you want to put it. So over time, as you keep digging through each layer, because no disease is caused by just one thing, so wipe that out of your head, it's caused by a multitude of factors. So psychological, spiritual, social, chemical, physical, it's all these different dimensions to it. But as you uncover each sort of piece and kind of heal it or flip it or resolve it, that liquid starts to become a little bit clearer. So that's how she described it to me. So basically said your goal in life in order to heal is to actually make that liquid clear so that the diamond shines through. And the diamond being who you are deep down in your core, trauma-free, stress-free, and sickness-free. So that was the first philosophy. The second philosophy I heard was about it taking 7 years to make a shaman. So I'm super interested in shamans. It was one of the first things that really resonated with me, being someone who used to absolutely love the jungle for no reason when I was a child. A shaman is basically just a medicine man from the jungle, and his job is to keep the tribe healthy and safe. So if someone gets sick within the tribe, then the shaman hasn't done his job, because nobody should be getting sick. Yeah, so his job is to keep everyone healthy, and if they get sick, he's in trouble. He's not a good shaman. But the whole path to becoming a shaman, because you may have heard the term thrown around a lot lately, it's a very new age term, everybody claims to be a shaman. Play a bowl here, they're a shaman. Do a course, they're a shaman. A shaman does not become a shaman unless he clears all of his or her trauma out of his system. So you need to be a clear vessel. So one thing that I learned when I was doing like energy work, therapies like Reiki and stuff, is that my stuff would always clash with the person's stuff on the table. I found that would skew my judgment all the time, to the point where I actually stopped doing it. Remember this philosophy that I can't really offer that type of service until I am a clear vessel myself. So a shaman, somebody who's awakened to becoming a shaman in the traditional sense, has to then go through all of these initiation things and these processes to clear out all of their own stuff so that they can be a clear vessel, which means that when they are working to heal or help somebody else, the messages that are coming through to them are for that person alone, and they can tell the difference between their own stuff and the person's stuff. So remembering that we're all energetic beings, everything flows through energetically, and the clearer you are, the clearer your perspective's going to be. So back to that diamond in the glass example, the clearer the water's going to be. And there was another story like around a mental hospital, and it was about how they see mental hospitals as being a little bit wild, because these are what they would call the birth of a healer. So these people are going through these tumultuous times and they're supposed to be learning from that and transforming it and clearing their systems out so that they can then give back to the community as healers and guides themselves. Okay, so that was the second one, 7 years to make a shaman. And the third one came from a talk with Eckhart Tolle. So he's an author. He wrote A New Earth and The Power of Now. You've probably heard of him. It's all about living in the present moment, a bit of a new age, you could say spiritual movement guru. Anyway, so I went to a talk of his and with a friend of mine, she really wanted to go. And before that, we had also signed up to do a yoga class with his wife. So I knew absolutely nothing about his wife at all. And I hated yoga, but I was like, whatever, she wanted to do it, so let's do it. Anyway, so we're in the yoga class, and the first thing that I noticed about her that completely perplexed me was the fact that she floated around like she was air. Like you almost couldn't feel her presence, like it was there. It just felt so pure and nice. That's the only way I can really describe it. She was wearing all white and just kind of floating around the room. And she was talking to us about this whole philosophy that she goes by, which she referred to as being like bamboo. So she said, if you imagine a bamboo stick, which is really strong and sturdy, it's hollow. So it's hollow on the inside. So she used this concept around bamboo, and she would say, be like bamboo. So if you think about bamboo, it's very long and it's empty inside. So she basically was saying that that is how we want to be as human beings. So as we go through life, we accumulate stuff. So things happen to us, our bodies get triggered, all of this kind of thing. And it starts to build up all this muck within the bamboo, so within the body. So remembering here, or you might not know this, but emotions and memories are all stored in the body. They're not just stored in your brain, they're stored all throughout the body. So when you heal trauma or when you're healing yourself, you're actually clearing all of those energetic imprints on the body and you're removing them to create a clear vessel. So back to the bamboo example. She was basically explaining how with every single thing that you do for your health and your well-being in whatever way, as you forge towards being healthy, you start to clear out all the muck and eventually you become like an empty vessel. And she said, once you're an empty vessel, you know exactly what comes through, what is meant for you, what is meant for other people, what is yours, what is theirs. You become a clear vessel to communicate a higher, consciousness, I guess you want to call it, to other people. There you have it. Those are the 3 philosophies. I really love them. They make so much sense to me, but it just shows you that healing, it's not like a heavy, scary process. It's just something where you just sort of chip away at the layers. You might just start eating a bit healthier. You might just start exercising more. You might start meditating. You might change the music you listen to. You might start to let go of some toxic friendships. Like all of these different things contribute to clearing the water, clearing the bamboo, and clearing your stuff to become a shaman as such. So I hope you liked the video. I know it's a little bit of a different topic, but I'm definitely going to be talking more about this in the future just because this is the path I am headed down. I have been headed down this path for a good exactly 7 years actually. So interestingly, I'm at the end of my healing journey and it has been 7 years since I started. And yeah, so I think when you try and think about your health and making changes, just think of it like you're just trying to clear the water or you're just trying to take a little bit of muck out of the bamboo. You're just trying to clear a little bit of the body, a little bit of that stuck heavy energy away. Another thing I've heard of as well is like imagine your windscreen is fogged and every time you heal something, there's a little gap there that you can see through, and then you heal something else and there's another little gap you can see through. And you think that all of these little things that you're doing over time are actually adding up. You think you're not actually getting better because we get very focused on where we fall back and the habits that we struggle to break. But I think it can be really powerful to remember that everything you do for yourself is going to help your body become that little bit clearer. And that's been my whole healing journey. I go as far as I can with one mentor. Once I get stuck, I go as far as I can with someone else. I did a lot of it on my own. I just chipped away and chipped away and chipped away, but I was still able to run my business, still trained, still did a competition, still had my friendships, still went out to dinner, breakfast, had a boyfriend, all of those things. It doesn't have to be the only thing in your life. It's just something that you want to start moving towards. And you'll be surprised that once you start moving towards it, it becomes a lot clearer what you have to do because the universe, if you want to put it like that, rewards your efforts. So that's all I have for this video. Let me know if you liked it and if you would like this kind of thing more in the future though. I'll probably make more things like this regardless. So have a good week.